As former Prime Minister Harold Macmillan once said in the 1950s, let's be frank, most of our people have never had it so good. Most students nowadays would laugh at that remark when based on themselves, but through my perspective, this quote is still active in today's society, and even more so in today's student world. While thousands of students demonstrate in the streets of London, there are some students like myself who live here, at home, just off the outskirts of the city of Plymouth. Every student has a home, but not during semester terms, and that's where a student like myself is separated from the norm. The differences are deeper than just observing the rooms that are in the house. Still living with my family has its ups and downs. In the household besides my mother are myself, my two brothers, my little sister and our dog. While I have to put up with visual distractions during my home studying, it can be equal to the hassle of annoying housemates or drunks in the accommodated flats. If I'm frank, home students need as much rest as they can get, as tomorrow is the start of, once again, another 45-minute travel to the university. I kid you not, 45 minutes. So get ready for the start of this wonderful journey into my world. For me, it's just doing it all over again. And you think you got it so bad? Waking up is perhaps the biggest struggle for every young person, especially students. And when you have to awaken at an early hour on a regular basis, it kind of becomes a routine adversity. But never fear, for me a great way to wake myself up in the morning as well as relax is a nice hot bath. Something that accommodated students will never be able to experience as they only have showers. But unfortunately there isn't enough time to show the next part of this segment, so you will not be able to see what happens next. Time is running quick for a traveller like myself. Simple buttered toast is all I can have at this rate, as we've run out of cereal. I could, just like every other student in the galaxy, wake up as lately as possible and leave as quickly as possible to gain those hours of sleep, and to make things so straightforward and a complete blur. But as you'll discover, the journey itself is more exhausting than the reason of it. Lights out. This is what my journey looks like. You see what I see. But be warned, sometimes my mind can float around and observe my surroundings. My hometown itself is a fairly quiet outskirt town to the big city, and while the suburban delights are further away from the town centre, it still creates a glisten of a mild, calming tone, as if I should not hurry at all. It's almost a break from the superficial lifestyle of a big city. The cascade of traffic is smoothened to a quiet, patient tone. But I mustn't observe. I've got to remain on schedule. This is the true dagger for any quick travel for me when travelling to Plymouth. The ferry. That's right, I do catch and travel on a chain-engineered ferry every single day. The final part of my journey is the routine bus travel that I step on board. It will cost me £3.30 for a day rider ticket. I travel into Plymouth at least 4 times a week. This equals £13.20 spent on travelling each week, which puts my travelling costs at a grand total of £396. Compared to the average university student who spends a grand total of £0 in walking fees, that's quite a significant difference in expenses. After stepping off the bus, I observe the city centre of Plymouth. It can be a flourish of history, modern age and nature. Walking through the Armada Way through New George and Cornwall Street, it's hard not to observe the beautifully crafted gardens with the concrete buildings, especially if it's a lovely day outside. It's almost like I shouldn't be at university at all. So here we are, the buildings where I study most on campus. The Scott Building, formerly used as an all-boys and all-girls school back in the early years of the 20th century. Now it's the Faculty of Art for the Plymouth University. I've come here in my free time to meet with some university friends, ones who live in different student locations. I wonder what my first interviewee has to say about student accommodation.
My name's Rishi and I'm here to talk about the accommodation. The most biggest change for me living in accommodation now rather than home is the fact of being independent. You know, you're moving in and you're having to learn how to cook, you do your own shopping, you need to have a budget per week, you need to have your own budget when it comes to student finance, and buying your own food, doing your own shopping, washing your own clothes. I think it's the biggest part is the independence. The most that I miss from living at home is coming home to a cooked meal and to bed. The relationship so far with my fellow housemates is absolutely amazing. They're just like family. When you need them, you need them. When you don't, you don't. The one thing that I would change in my accommodation is mainly the decoration from communal to an ensuite. My bed, because it's very crap, it feels like you're just living in a prison.
Awesome, thank you, buddy.
Sorry, do you want me to stop recording? Yes, please. Quick question.
As interesting as Rishi's interview was, time is ticking as I'm off to a quiet part of the city to catch up with another friend. What does he have to say about living in a shared home?
Well, my name is Samuel Thomas Frayne and I'm talking about living in a student house rather than a student accommodation. I suppose the biggest change I've had is I've become wiser to things. I've learnt skills that I can take with me for when I'm more grown up, things that I wouldn't have picked up being at home. The only thing that I really miss from living at home back in Gravesend is my father and my little sister. I miss shopping in London because I only live 20 minutes away from the centre and I just hop on the train, I'm there, bang. Well, my relationship with my fellow housemates at the moment is some of them I get along with okay and some of them I don't. I mean, we all have our ups and downs, same as anyone do, you know. Some of the housemates, you know, like my housemate Jesse, you know, I do get along with him, you know. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of things that do, like, I would love to change about the house. I mean, clean it thoroughly. You know, I wouldn't mind a bigger room for the money I'm paying. For the money I am paying, I'm lucky I've got a room in the first place, so I'm paying peanuts really. So I've got a good deal going on there with the house.
As well as discussing their living and lifestyles in their respective living areas, they also give me their student financial statistics to see who really has the financial edge. So the bottom line in these financial comparisons, the home student receives less, but pays a lot less than the accommodated student. The accommodated student gets more, but has to pay more for rent. But the shared home student gets even more money based on the location he's in, and pays a huge sum less than the accommodated student for rent. So overall, the home student, like myself, will pay back a lot less than the other two coming out of university. As the evening sets inside the Scott Building, it is time to leave. Here we go again, lights out. But a final look in the beautiful sunset before I head off home. I feel like I live 100 miles away from where I go and where I travel to. The social factor can be a hard-hitting one at times. While the average university student spends his evenings partying using only a few pounds, I stay at home, away from the nightlife and the party carnage by other students, almost as a recluse. Those other students do have it quite good. I may not have the most money compared to other students, but the fact that I live at home makes me pay out a lot less than the majority. As I lay here, either trying to drift off to sleep or engine my entertainment needs, the number of notes in my wallet quickly becomes a null factor. It really does feel like I'm on the outside looking in. Is that the sacrifice I take for walking out of all this, the financial gainer? So after looking for all this during the day, Macmillan is correct. Even for this day and age, we've never had it so good. They do, you do, and I do too. We both give up certain aspects of certain factors in our lives to have it so good, although sometimes I do wish I was out of this home. But now it's getting late, and I need my sleep, but unlike you, I have to do this all over again tomorrow. Lights out.